welcome to Alpha 18 announcement and what's gonna happen and when it's gonna happen and the patch notes. So for the people on YouTube, we are streaming this right now as well. So if you're part of the stream, very well, you got all the information early, you probably read the patch notes yourself, and if you have missed the stream, you can see it now on YouTube as well. So this is the patch notes and the official release notes, and we're gonna go through all of them. I haven't read them yet myself, so I don't know what to expect. Officially, the word is that Alpha 18 Experimental Streamer Weekend will start on Friday, October the 4th, starting at 12 p.m. CST. Now again, this is not set in stone, even though they write it here. If there's any last-minute bugs they find or anything, this will get delayed. That is absolutely the case. So I wouldn't go like 12 p.m. bam, and I would expect always delays. Now, this will be experimental, which means even after the Streamer Weekend, when it's available to everybody, expect the public experimental to follow sometimes Monday afternoon. So sometime on Monday, the official experimental Alpha 18 will be released to the public, to everybody, which means you have to go and select experimental branch on Steam. So you will not be able to get it as an update. You have to go into your settings. I'm not going to go through all the details. You can Google that yourself, or just hit me up on Twitter and I can explain it then. But you just go into your game properties of 7 Days to Die on Steam and you just select the experimental branch and it will download Alpha 18. All right, so let's have a look. Alpha 18 official release notes. Alpha 18 is finally here. I'm gonna skimp over the whole generic stuff. What I'm interested in is the bits and pieces, the meaty bits and pieces. Experience, earning, and balance. We had a lot of feedback from Alpha 17 on how XP was mostly earned by zombie kills, making playstyles other than killers invalid, as you could only level up by killing zombies. Well, it's fun, but yeah, variety is always good. In Alpha 18, we streamlined and balanced the ways players earn XP to support multiple playstyles and supporting roles. These include XP for killing zombies, completing quests, harvesting resources, mining, upgrading blocks, and more. I mean, we did have in Alpha 17, if you had a shovel, I think you could pretty well gain XP just digging around, but the rest of the harvesting wasn't really so good. So I believe they increased all that from what I've seen as well in the videos. There are many ways to play the game, but we believe players primarily play as one or more playstyle archetypes that we have identified as the killer, the looter, the quest, the builder gatherer, and or the miner, which is correct. That's absolutely. But the funny thing is, it's not just an archetype. We all like to play different types at the same time, given the situation. I mean, when Blood Moon comes, you're all gonna be builders. End of story. There's not gonna be a choice, because you're gonna be in a POI, you still have to reinforce it and you have to build something. So builder is kind of a little bit mandatory. The same for resource gathering. Killer, I suppose, is the only optional way here, because you could, I suppose, loot without, you know, and avoiding all the zombies. There are many ways to play the game, but we believe players primarily play as one or more active. Okay, so we covered that. The testing team played build after build, purposely playing as these archetypes and collecting XP, earning data, recording and analyzing the results, and working with games. So they did a lot of testing, which is good to hear. So they went through all the things themselves, which is always good. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can pause it at any time, read it, or go to the link in the description to release notes and read it for yourself. Stamina balance. TFB also heard a lot of Alpha 17 feedback about starting player stamina, or stamina as it is correctly pronounced. It was too low and player stamina drain was too much, making actions like harvesting, mining and running and grind a chore. That's true. That's true. Especially with mining, I found it very, very hard to keep your stamina up, because there was no purpose to it. It's very just a thing. You hit something, you wait. There's no penalty really beside waiting. And if time is the only factor, it's not really a good thing, like, you know. So we reduce stone axe stamina costs, so a new player can start harvesting resources not to be interrupted with slow stamina alerts, which is very good. Many other primary attack stamina costs have been reduced. Power attacks still have a hefty cost reward. That should be the case though, like power attacks, absolutely. Armor perks and mods now reduce stamina and movement penalties as well. Armor perks, okay, and mods. Armor perks and mods. I wonder if that is armor perks by default on armor or just when we apply the mods to it. But we'll see. It sounds very good. And movement penalties as well. There are perk books in loot that reward stamina for kills. Oh, that's good. I like that. We changed encumbrance so players start with a full extra in new games, so you're penalized so quickly. Okay, let me read that again. We changed encumbrance so players start with a full extra in new games, so you're penalized so quickly when your inventory fills up. We also added deep pocket mods so you can carry more without being encumbered, so you don't have to perk up into pack mule. That is good. I like that, because being forced to go into pack mule kind of forces you. The whole perk system was kind of in a way wide open. You felt you had a lot of choice, but in the end of the day, there was cookie cutter perk points you're gonna have to spend a certain way to be able to play the game, you know. So again, this is all my opinion. You guys might differ completely. There's some hardcore players out there who go like, dude, shut up, you know, it was perfect. All right, let's have a look at optimizations. We had a lot of feedback from Alpha 17 on how performance was lower than Alpha 16, which is really strange, because for me it was the opposite. I actually gained frames, but I heard, like, and I saw it on Twitter, loads of people had issues with frames. So I wonder if it was specific graphics card or chipsets. I have no idea, because for me it was like, whoa, okay, and my FPS actually increased. Well, not with shadows and trees. Occlusion system. We engineered a proprietary new occlusion system that stops the rendering of chunks, blocks, entities, or trees that are on screen but not visible to the player. That is good. I like that. This will often greatly increase your FPS, especially indoors. Absolutely, because when you're inside a house and you don't see anything, why would you render everything outside? It doesn't make sense. The new system does add some minor popping artifacts where occluded objects may take a moment to appear. Okay, I suppose that's a small price to pay, depending how severe it is, but we'll see. Occlusion can be disabled in the video options if desired. Incremental garbage collection. We updated the Unity, okay, this is very techie stuff now, which means the old hitching, we all noticed, has been greatly not reduced. I don't know exactly what hitching is, but I know what garbage collection is in programming terms, so that's very good, which basically means they're clearing out memory as they go along, which frees up basically memory and for use. Collision mesh optimization. We went through a lot of models that had complex collision meshes and simplified them, which reduces physics calculation and improves performance. That's good to hear as well. POI detail reduction. We engineered a proprietary tool in the level editor that shows vertices and triangle counts. We're able to optimize POIs in the game, reducing unneeded, sometimes abusive details by as much as 40% in some locations. Okay, that's very nice as well. Entity ticking. Entity ticking, what is that? Players, animals, zombies now update over multiple frames, which reduces the CPU load during a single frame, which reduces frame rate spikes. Does that mean they skip, or do we still have smooth movement? I'm not sure. This is stuff that I don't fully understand. AI has a new character controller that uses a bit less CPU. Well, I'm interested more in the AI, how it reacts to Horde Night, but I believe they made changes to that as well. Zombie balance. We heard many comments about how there were too many zombies in POIs and in the world in Alpha 17, and how the game lacked POIs. They were smaller and simply explorable with a few or no zombies. To resolve this, we grouped POIs into questing tiers and set their spawns to reasonable max count numbers for those tiers and balanced enemy counts. Okay, that's good. We also lowered biome spawning some so players could have a little more breathing room when just exploring the world. On top of this, we created nearly 30 new smaller POIs we call remnants, much like the abandoned house in a variety of themes. These remnants are smaller, less populated, and have a chance for 0 to 2 zombies, giving players many less threatening explorable spaces, especially when they're starting a new game or when limited. I like the sound of that. Attribute balance. We heard many comments in Alpha 17 about how we forced players to choose strength and intellect attributes and they had many must-have perks under them. Exactly, and that's what I said earlier about that. No matter how much freedom you had visually, you looked like you had a lot of freedom, you had to follow a cookie cutter perk build nearly to a certain degree up to a certain point. Otherwise, you just were screwed, yeah? And so I'm really glad that they're mentioning this. Making the playing of different player skills builds is nearly impossible. To resolve this, we made a number of changes. Again, for the people watching on YouTube, I know you can't same time comment, but leave comments, you know, absolutely, discuss it, share your opinions of what you think of the changes, what you like on Alpha 17, and maybe you don't like some of the changes, you know, let me know in the comments and discuss it, because it's really interesting to see the different thoughts of people and the different playstyles. First and foremost, each attribute has been, let me actually do this probably better, has been balanced and given male ranged weapons. They're governed so every build has a new unique feeling to it with specialized weapons they use. I like the sound of that. Secondly, we removed level requirements so a player can specialize very early game now and unlock any perk in the game once they met the attribute requirement. That is nice. From the way I understand it, that's good. We have slowed leveling because a level 40 character is now very powerful if you specialize mostly under one attribute. This doesn't mean you can't grab a few perks from every attribute, and we encourage people to experiment with it and make it the right build that matches their playstyle and is the most fun. We have also lowered a lot of requirements for some perks, so you can get 3 ranks or quite a few perks with a fairly low attribute, making players adequate at, say, mining with just 3 ranks. The top rank attribute have a much lower cost now too, making it less points needed to reach rank 10. We also added schematics that unlock nearly every craftable item in the game, so players no longer need intellect to craft most items. That is a welcoming change. I really like that. So by the sound of it, it means that if you are a person that likes to be the jack of all trades and expert of none, you can exactly do that. That's the way I understand it. You can be a jack of all trades, which makes it pleasant to play, but you're not going to excel in either. But if you want, you can excel in something more and in other things a little less, and it makes you more powerful in the mining or the harvesting, less of the combat, but not stupidly inefficient in combat that you can't go into a house and clear out a house of zombies. Because that is my current problem. If you specialize too much, you kind of short, and then you go, oh crap, I can't hit anything with my bat because they're not going to die because I didn't spend any points in Pummel Pete or whatever, you know. So yeah, let me definitely know what you think about that. I think it's a very good change in the right direction from the sound of it. So this is probably the heart of it all, the gameplay changes. Item changes, schematic changes, armor changes, and encumberating. Item changes. All item crafting is now governed by the perk tree it's affected by. So rather than intellect controlling the quality of a shotgun you crafted, it is governed by the boomstick perk. Okay, I suppose it kind of makes sense. If you want to get better at crafting shotguns, you should be focusing on shotguns, you know? Players can craft up to blue quality. Faulty and poor quality items have 1 mod slot, fair and good quality items have 2 mod slots, and great quality items have 3 mod slots, and fine quality items have 4 mod slots. Items scrap to parts like shotgun parts, light armor parts, etc., and are crafted from them. So I like that. So the way I understand this is we're not gonna have any more multi-parts to the shotgun, like, you know, the whatever it was. There was like 4 parts to a shotgun. So in this case, they only have shotgun parts or something, which is nice to see, because full guns all the time is also not good, but it's nice to see like guns having to be built as well. Higher quality items require more parts and materials to craft. Makes sense. For example, a crude shotgun only requires 3 shotgun parts, but a great shotgun requires 15 parts. Makes sense. Primitive items like stone and wood items do not require special parts and are crafted from common ingredients. Item quality now influences damage and armor rating. Thank you. That was so terrible not to have that. I know a lot of people were really divided on that, and I remember reading a lot of split comments on this. Some people saying, well, mods should be enough. Higher quality, more mods. Just find the mods. But that was based on RNG, which means out of the box, if RNG was horrible to you and you just didn't find any mods, there was 0 difference except for durability between item of quality 1 and item of quality 5. And that should not be the case. I mean, you know, item quality 5 is a better quality. You should get a little bit out of it that is better than the 1 quality item. And the mod slots are great, but if you can't find mods, then what good is it? So RNG is not very good to us. We know that. All weapons and ammo have random stats now, and it's possible that a brown club might be better than an orange club. So check the stats. This is the part I'm a little bit in between. I like the sound of it very much, that it has a range, but it's also a little bit, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but if a lower quality item ends up with better stats than a higher quality item, I suppose it makes sense in a way. Like if the better quality item is more worn down, you know, it could be worse. So yeah, it just sounds a bit RNG, you know, where you could get really unlucky that you find this amazing high quality item with all the mod slots, and it's of so terrible stats that you don't want to use it, you know. So, but yeah, we'll see. I really like the sound of it though. So check the stats. Mods still increase damage when installed, but not as much since item quality influences damage. That makes sense, yeah. Schematics. We've added classic item schematics back to the game that permanently teach the player how to craft specific items. Thank you. And sometimes an entire group of items. Thank you. There are hundreds of schematics to find, so if you don't want to spend perks on intellect, you can find schematics to unlock nearly everything in the game. There are even recipe cards for nearly every food item in the game as well. We have removed the perk books and ingredient-based schematics from the game. That is amazing. This is really, really good. I'm really a big fan of this. Anything that's based on completely RNG is just nonsense. And the whole idea of one-use schematics, that was just not right. So I'm really, really happy to see that. Armor changes. I'm catching up with chat in a second about your thoughts on that. And again, if you're watching it on YouTube, leave it in the comments below, you know, your thoughts on all that. Armor changes. Armor rating now never changes based on perks. Okay. Armors offer great protection now early game. Even cloth and scrap armor is worth using. Oh, I like that. Cloth armor does not slow the player or cost any stamina to wear. Armor significantly reduces chance for bleeding and stun. Oh, that is brilliant. Heavy armor is the best, but has the heaviest penalties, of course. Yeah, because I mean, if you're walking around like a knight in shining armor, I'm sure you can barely move. Perks and mods can remove nearly all penalties from light armor and most from heavy armor. That is really good. Encumbrance. We removed a whole row of encumbrance, so early game is more forgiving. Thank you. There are also pocket mods you craft for clothing to reduce encumbrance for early game. It is possible to have 0 encumbrance with no pack mule perks now. You just have to get the right gear. This is I really like. Overall, all of this, the whole gameplay changes, tells me we give you a choice. You either can get lucky and find things, which is the RNG that everybody loves and hates, or you can spend some points wisely in some place and get the same result. Or you can get lucky, or you just prefer getting lucky, you know, and wait until you find something and spend the points somewhere else. I think that is really good. It gives you choice. It makes you feel like you have more freedom of how to design your character and how to spend your points. I think that's very good. All right, let's go death loop improvements. Many players complained about getting into death loops or cheap deaths in the game at times when they were not taking risks. Here are some of the things we have done to improve this. The death debuff has been changed from lowering attributes, health and stamina to losing XP, resulting in less cheap back-to-back deaths. Okay, that I'm gonna have to see how they refine that. After a player dies during a blood moon, zombies will no longer know where you are and normal stealth rules apply. Oh, if you re-engage an enemy, Blood Moon behavior recommence. Oh, nice. So if you, well, you can use it a bit of as a cheat, I suppose. Yeah, so if you kind of had enough, you're going like, oh, screw this, I'm not going to run around, I couldn't be arsed. You're just going to let them kill you, and then you can stealth back to pick up your gear. You know, just don't engage in combat, you know, like, or get too close to them, you know. So yeah, I can see that being used as a really good thing though as well, because if you're on a multiplayer server, I assume, some people were like, oh, I just logged in and it's Horde Night. Yeah, so I hope that actually helps a lot with that as well, because if they log in and it's Horde Night, they don't get involved in the Horde Night unless they want to, I think. That's what it sounds like? I don't know, let me know in the comments below or in chat as well. We lowered the default difficulty from Nomad to Adventurer since Alpha 18 is a little harder with the new zombie rage speed boosting behavior. Ooh, we changed AI noise detection to play sense sounds and lowered hostile animal noise and sight detection range. Some animals now have a chance to flee when damaged in combat. Bleeding does less damage per second and armor reduces the chance to bleed dramatically. Okay, okay. Melee hit detection and glancing blows. Some folks gave us feedback about how you would swing and miss zombies too often. Yeah. Melee was too binary, hit or miss. To remedy this, as well as make melee feel more impactful, we added a swing arc, thank you, to detect hits along the path of the weapon. Absolutely fantastic. If you miss with the crosshair, you will still hit enemies along the arc of the weapon swing, just for less damage. That makes sense. That is beautiful. That is exactly how I would imagine it. That is absolutely fantastic. This allows melee users to do splash damage to crowds while primarily attacking one target. I think by the sound of this, I will definitely want to try the sledgehammer now. Hitting one target and doing splash damage on other targets with a sledgehammer with high knockback, that, oh man, that could be a spec in itself, you know? High stamina burst, you know, and going full on rage with a sledgehammer, oh yeah, that definitely, I like the sound of that. Melee impact audio polish, oh yes. To improve upon the existing melee sounds, we have gone through our melee weapon and added new crunchier impacts, oh I love it. We also added sounds for glancing blows and player power attack sounds, which makes melee feel much more immersive. I love that, because remember when they did the change with the weapons, yeah? I think it was between Alpha 16, Alpha 15, Alpha 16, or was it Alpha 16 and Alpha 17? I don't remember. But whatever version it was, when they updated all the sounds of the weapons, or even the arrow, yeah, when you hit the arrow, it's like this, that sound, like, you know, of the arrow. It was like, oh, it just felt like so nice to shoot something in the face, yeah. And well, you preferred other body part, but the foreface is usually the preferred one. It was really, really satisfying, like to shoot something in the face. Now, if they do that with melee the right way, that all these different things have different sounds and they're really nice and crunchy and, you know, polished, that's nice. Oh, I love that. It just makes you want to get into combat, you know. Animation polish. We expanded our animation team and they have been kick-ass on polishing and making all first-person animations more fluid, snappy and satisfying. Now that is really cool. With this also came new item hide show code, which allows thrown or placed items to be hidden and shown on the right frames to make things like grenades, C4 and rocks look great. Let me just go over this again. With this also came a new item hide show code, which allows thrown or placed items to be hidden and shown on the right frames. Okay, I like that. Either way, all of this, I love it. Dynamic music system. For content creators, this doesn't matter much, I suppose, because we usually turn the music off. TFP has teamed up with Native Darkness Productions to bring a full dynamic music system to Alpha 18. Oh, I like the sound of that, though. The system procedurally generates a complete musical arrangement from a set of interchangeable loops. As of now, there are over 750 unique combinations. I love this. Our hope is that this feature will make Alpha 18 that much more immersive. We have set a default cap on the music, which will allow it to play for 30% of a given day. But you're in control of how much music you can hear, though. The daily time allotted property in the audio options menu. Note that setting this property to 100 will not give you constant music, as that percentage is daily cap and not a guarantee. Oh, that's really great, though. We will definitely have to try that out during a stream or something. At the moment, our system is designed to provide music while the player is exploring the world. We do, however, intend to broaden the system into the next alpha, with not only more content, but to include suspense, combat, and trader music. Yeah, combat music. You know when you're exploring somewhere and the combat music starts and you don't see an enemy and your heart is racing, you go like, oh shit, what is going on? You know, I love this. Yeah, that being said, for the time being, we hope you enjoy this new addition to the 7 Days soundscape. Very, very nice. Okay, new infection, dysentery, and stun changes. New infection system. Infection is easier to contract when you have low health than high health. Okay, it makes sense. You're more vulnerable when you're feeling shit. 1% is barely infected. At 100% infection, you die. Stage, is it after 7 days of infection that you die? That would be amazing. Stage 1 lasts 1 real-time hour and up to 14% and has no side effects. Oh, okay, so you actually have a chance of finding a cure before you get affected. That's nice. Stage 2 lasts 3 hours, up to 57%, and has minus 25 stamina recovery. Stage 3 lasts 3 hours and is 35% stamina recovery penalty. And minus 1 to all attributes. Getting hit by zombies can increase infection level. Take antibiotics to slowly cure infections such as honey. So that implies to me that antibiotics now guaranteed to cure infection, just slowly over time. It's not a chance, because I think in the moment in Alpha 17 they have a chance to heal you, but may not. I think. That's in the moment the problem. Antibiotics lessen stamina recovery penalty by half while curing. That's great. I love that. So you have an immediate effect, and you have the long-lasting effect, which is very realistic, I suppose. Make sure to have a larger cure amount than your infection amount, or you will get sick again when the cure buff runs out. Oh, okay, so you have to actually pay actively attention now to cure yourself, which I like. I like that. That's nice. But I also like the whole stage 1 thing, because if you're in the middle of a house, remember, you go into a house, you have like 20 zombies, you get hit a little bit, and all of a sudden, boom, you're infected, your stamina goes down the drain, and you're like, great. Now I'm just gonna have to sit here outside and wait until I can go back into the house to get my stuff, yeah? So the immediate penalty was nonsense. I like the stage 1 thing, and I hope that you can't get stage 2 or stage 3 infected immediately by a zombie. Dysentery and food poisoning. Dysentery and food poisoning are non-lethal but easier to contract. It makes sense. All foods except canned now have a chance to contract food poisoning. Okay, because up to now, canned food even gave you food poisoning. Like the cat food, I think, gave you 5% a chance of food poisoning. Food poisoning causes you to throw up, and you lose most of the food you have consumed. Recover by eating. I hope they mean by eating different food, not your vomit you just throw up. Dysentery causes diarrhea, which will drain your water, causing dehydration. That makes sense. Drinking goldenrod tea to recover faster from dysentery. Boiled water still has a chance to contract dysentery, so drink teas, coffee, or the new mineral water to be exempt from dysentery. I like mineral water. It's my favorite drink. The perk slow metabolism has been renamed to Iron Good, which reduces chances for dysentery and food poisoning. I like that. That's nice. That's lovely. I like that. Stun system. Armor greatly reduces chances for being stunned. New books and schematics. We've added 16 book sets to the game. The game with 112 total unique books. Oh, okay. So book sets and 112 unique books. Reading these books unlock unique perks and skills, and completing a set unlocks a book series perk. Book sets are the Fireman's Almanac. Gain perks based around firefighting, heat resistance, harvest more coal from burnt embers. So I can set myself on fire with Molotov cocktails now and not worry. I love it. The Great Heist. Gain perks that help you become a master thief. Gain new stealth abilities, craft timed charges to open safes quickly, and more. Damage land claims areas 20% faster. Sorry, I just had to laugh that they put stealth and timed charges in the same sentence. So you stealth into a house, all the zombies are in it, you're not getting detected, and then you blow the shit out of the safe. It was the biggest explosion, and had you basically 30 zombies heading for your location. Yeah, I can see that. That's what I would do. It's like, but I was stealthed. Lucky Looter. Each volume helps you find more specific items in loot. Oh, more specific items. Okay, needle and thread. Become a tailor and learn to craft clothing. Coats, I nearly read goats. Coats, hats, and even pocket mods for your clothing to reduce encumbrance without strength perks. Okay, that's nice. The Night Stalker become the ultimate assassin and gain stealth and combat bonuses at night. That is lovely. I like that. Butter up. Learn to craft baseball bats and hit zombies' heads out of the park. In the foreface, all the way across the land. Wasteland treasures. Learn to harvest new materials from various objects to become the ultimate junk collector for the apocalypse. Yes, I love it. Because we didn't have enough problems with room already. I'm such a hoarder. I'm gonna be having problems with this. The Hunter's Journal. Do more damage against different types of animals with each volume. Oh, I like that. The Art of Mining. Enhance your life as a miner with a new craftable equipment and mining tricks to one-shot ore. Ranger Guide to Archery. Become the ultimate archer with the set of books. You can even craft exploding arrows. I like it. Pistol Pete. Master the use of the 9mm weapon with this set of books. I like it. Shotgun Messiah. Become the action hero you always dreamed of with this complimentary set of books. We still need an Arnie kind of single railgun holding combat thing. We still need that. Sniper. If exploding heads is your thing, oh yes. Look no further. Craft special ammunition, a ghillie suit, and more. Oh, a ghillie suit. Ooh. The Automatic Weapons Handbook. Learn every trick in the book about machine guns. Urban Combat. Become the ultimate commando with Urban Combat and look like a sexy Saurus. Like a sexy Saurus. I love it. New weapons. This is by far the biggest weapon update. Oh, I'm excited now. This is by far the biggest weapon update we ever had, which includes 20 new weapons to play with. Spears. Spears have a great range and can be thrown. I saw Madmol use spears and they look very effective. From stone, iron, and steel, there's a spear for you. Steel spears are loot or schematic craft only. Are they schematic craft only or loot only? They can be modified and are governed by the new perception perk, Javelin Master. Primary attack jabs and secondary attack performs a power attack that charges up the spear and releases it to throw it. I love it. Press E to reclaim your spear. Junk turrets. Junk turrets are governed by the new intellect perk Turret Syndrome. They are handheld weapons that is fired with primary attack and reloaded like a normal weapon. Secondary attacks deploy it in the world and it will target zombies and animals as long as the player is close enough to it. Turrets deactivate when the player is too far away and will stop making noise, and the barrel will aim at the floor when they run out of ammo or out of range. So we get a visual confirmation when they're actually out of ammo, which is really nice. The Stun Baton. A new melee weapon governed by the new intellect perk, the Electrocutioner. The Electrocutioner gives intellect players a shock baton that charges with each attack. Each rank of Electrocutioner reduces the number of swings needed to achieve a charge. I like it. Stun Baton. We're gonna have a baton. Baseball Bat. The Baseball Bat is a top tier club that is loot or schematic craft only. Clubs and bats are governed by pummel, peed, and the strengths. I love it. That's normal. M60. The M60 is a top-tier machine gun class weapon that is Ludo schematic craft. It is governed by machine gunner and their fortitude. New sledgehammers. Want to be a sledgehammer guy early game? Craft stone sledgehammer right away from basic ingredients like stone, wood, and plant fiber. Later game you can find steel. I think this is now something where I'm kind of be interested in. Sledgehammers are governed by the skull crusher and the strength. So the biggest problem with sledgehammer is you can't really use it early game in general because it requires so much stamina to swing it. And if you go into a house with 10 zombies, you're not going to be swinging a sledgehammer around, yeah? So not until later game. So if you can craft them early game, does that mean the stamina cost is lower, that it makes it worth playing with them? M60 is a top tier machine. Did we not just have that? Top tier machine gun is craft only is governed by the machine gunner perk and the fortitude as well as the AK-47. Okay. Knuckle wraps, brass knuckles, and spike knuckles. Ever wanted to just punch a zombie's head? I haven't tried that in Alpha 17. It just didn't do it for me because it was just the risk of getting hit so much. But the old vanilla fists were just too weak. Now you can perk into the brawler and the fortitude and use leather knuckle wraps, brass knuckles, and spike knuckles to punch their face into a pulp. I love it. But won't I get infected being so close to zombies, you might ask? Fear not, because they come as a special built-in perk that removes a zombie's ability to infect you by punching out their teeth. Punching to head instantly neutralizes zombie infection. Okay, I think between that and the sledgehammer, I'm starting to see where I want to go with my first attempt in the Alpha 18. Double barrel shotgun. Fires 2 shots, but you can double tap. Double tap. And basically shoot both at once. Shotguns are governed by the perk boomstick, which is under the strength. Yes, double tap. Is that not one of the rules of survival in Zombieland? Rule number 6. Always double tap. New explosive. I'm making this up. I don't know if it was a rule or which rule it was. New explosives. Grenades and time charges have been introduced to Alpha 18. They are normal grenades that bounce and contact grenades which explode on contact. Time charges deal massive damage to safes and doors and are great for raids. They are governed by demolition experts under perception. So we're gonna have to try something out on our multiplayer servers. That is nice. New bows. Their normal bow people are used to has been turned into a primitive bow. So it will probably feel worse to experienced players. Which makes sense though. Like, we've added a new wooden bow which behaves similar to the old bow, and the compound bow is still the top tier bow. We added a new compound crossbow which is top tier crossbow. This is Ludo schematic craft only. Both bows and crossbows alike can use flaming and exploding ammunition. Bows are governed by the agility perk now. Very good. New ammunition. All firearms can use regular ammo, HP ammo. High penetration, is that what HP stand for? Which does more damage, and AP. Oh, I don't know what that means. Ammo which pierces through enemies. Oh, armor penetrating, I think. Yeah. Ammo which pierces through enemies and low hit point structures like wood and glass. Shotguns have breaching ammo for wrecking safes and doors. Bows have exploding arrows. Advanced ammunition requires a schematic to craft. Steel ammunition has been removed from the game, but there are many new ways to acquire brass, including smelting dukes. I'm actually glad they removed steel ammunition because it kind of felt weird. In a way, it was something I only used when I really had to, and brass is like, you know, if you get brass, that's great, you know. So, and they have new ways to acquire brass now, which is great. So that's awesome. I hope it's not going to be bound to only something like where you can find it, so that if we're ending up in this scenario again, it's like, no, you must take this perk, otherwise you will never have enough brass for your bullets. So you're forced again to like kind of a cookie cutter build. Thrown items. In multiplayer games, thrown items were moved by the server, which means if your computer was not the server, you would see delays when you threw an item and see lag in its position, updates, and collision in the world. In Alpha 18, we added a physics master system that lets the player's computer that throw the item spawn and run the item's physics, so you get the same lag-free throwing as single-player game, and they will accurately hit other players. Okay, does that mean I'm not setting myself on fire anymore? Many thrown items have been resized and had their colliders adjusted. Thank you. So they're easier to use. Molotovs has a smaller radius and a more forgiving distance check to players. Thank you. So it's harder to set yourself on fire. I'm really liking this. This is recognizing a serious problem among some content creators, mainly me. No, I think everybody had that problem. Rocks and snowballs can be thrown much further now, which is useful to lure zombies away from your backpack or POI if you want to sneak into it. I like that. New terrain blending, Unity distance terrain, PBR terrain. Okay, this is very techy stuff. We have integrated a new terrain shader that blends the terrain textures in a much more natural way. With it, we can do interesting things like base the texture weight and slope angles. Okay. And all I understand is it will look sexier. Along with this, we have converted our old distance terrain to use Unity distance terrain, giving us much more fidelity in the distance, as you can now see details like erosion and higher resolution mountains and plateaus. If that wasn't enough, we have overhauled all the terrain textures, not only in a higher resolution, but also to support the new PBR art pipeline. That sounds good. I have no idea what they're talking about, but it all results in sexy experiences, like with the visuals. Visual galore, I assume. Random world generation. The random world gen in Alpha 17 was horrible in my opinion. It had too many pockets of biomes within biomes. It was just nonsense. Random world generation has been overhauled to use a new custom in-house solution. This new system uses a combination of artist-driven graph networks and improved programmatic algorithms to distribute along with smart blah blah blah. What does that mean for me? With each new seed generation, a new and exciting world is created for the player to explore. I hope we will not have no longer like an island of green in the middle of a snow biome with a desert right in it beside the green. We have also created many brand new locations, OPI locations. We imagined dozens of older locations with a complete art and gameplay overhaul. We saw some of them actually in Matmol's video and in some images. They looked really, really good. Beautiful and questable dungeon experience. We optimized and rebalanced all existing questable locations and rebalanced all locations in the game. We have also created many brand new locations. These locations are all set up to support a variety of quests up to 5-tier difficulties. All locations are working in Navisgain, nice, and random gen worlds. Over 101 new locations and counting. That is insane. Some of the new or re-imaged locations are the modern house, burnt businesses, burnt houses, burnt remnant, abandoned, old west business and business strips, old west remnants, abandoned houses, more houses, remnant bands, the lodge. Oh, the lodge, I love the lodge. Updated auto parts store, trailer park trailers, army camps, love the army camps and the barracks, fire station, funeral home, diners, fast food garages, and water towers. Reflections. Reflections are shown using reflection probes. We added a new reflection manager that tracks multiple probes and blends between them to reduce hard transitions. Probes now update based on player movement or change to the world instead of all the time. Thank you, which will give you an increase of FPS. Very nice. AI, animals, and zombies. Now let's see what we have on animals and zombies. We have made a variety of improvements to the gaming AI, including a coyote and mountain lion were added. The mountain lion uses the new animal leap ability. I can see a lot of leaping things biting me in the butt cheeks. The demolition zombie was added. Beware his explosive charge. I love it. Zombies have a new rage mode. There's a chance when damaging zombies based on the game difficulty that they will move faster for a short amount of time. This adds more variety to combat. I like it. Sense sounds have returned to the game. They are played when hostile AI investigates a noise. Hostile AI no longer investigates player noises at the exact position of the player, but rather picks a spot somewhere on the player breadcrumb trail based on how well the AI can hear. Oh, okay, that will make things more interesting, because up to this point you kind of make noise, the zombie moves, you just move away, and you can stand right beside the last point and just kneel down and hide, and he goes to the point that you were in, which I suppose is in a sense a little bit more like in the movies, you know, that they go where the noise is. Some types of hostile animals may flee when injured. Zombies will now fight bears or wolves that attack them. Zombies can ragdoll when they fall. Sleeper volume triggering was improved. Does that mean it's more sensitive or less sensitive? Vehicles. Vehicles have had several improvements done to them. Steering, tire rotation, bicycle, pedaling, and the gyro rotor can now be seen moving when looking at other players. But is the gyro rotor now a fast machine? Vehicles fall more accurately and riders can take falling damage. Okay. Damage when colliding with the world is more accurately calculated and less land claim damage is done. Okay, does that mean if we can't really use the vehicle anymore to go cross country, it will just get destroyed? Using the hop action on the two-wheeled vehicles lifts the front tire more, so it's easier to drive over obstacles. Great, I like that. Vehicle UI locking and passcode interactions have improved. Mining overhaul. Mining has been overhauled and made much easier to find the ore you need. Now there are brand new 3D surface boulders of each ore type, identifying where matching ore can be found below. What you see is what you get. See lead mine, see lead, mine it, and below the boulder you will have a new lead texture. Underground ore that matches the surface boulder. Each boulder has a unique look, so they are easy to identify at a distance of what type of ore it is. These boulders are uncommon, so there are still many deposits close to the surface that can only be found by digging. That is a nice boulder. Okay, server administration changes. I'm not gonna go over them because they mean absolutely nothing to me. So you can pause the video right now and read them for yourself. Or the stream, you can probably go back to the stream and watch it yourself. Modding support. Now this is absolutely important information for the modders. I'm not gonna read them out. Again, feel free to pause the video, look over the modding support changes, or in the stream, go back to it at a later point, or go to the link of the release notes and read them for yourself. All right, this is a bit of a tricky section now, because I'm not gonna read all of them out. Basically, the next section is all the things they added and all the things that changed and all the things they fixed. It's an insane long list, okay? It's like, I mean, just look at this. It's an insane long list, yeah? And then change, so I'm not going to read all of this, yeah? But what we're going to do is we're going to slowly scroll through it. So if you want to watch it on the video, you can read it there and then leave a comment of what you know, spot that you're really excited for. Or you can just go to the link and read it for yourself in your own time. I'm scrolling through it because I'm looking through them myself now to actually see the things that I'm interested in. Advanced engineering reduces material cost of forged recipes by 20%. That jumps out straight away as very interesting. Okay, that is nice. I like that. Oh, flag players that died during... Yeah, that's what they explained above, that on Blood Moon you're gonna lose aggro, basically. Bandages, first aid bandages, first aid kits, and splints now give XP. I love it. Physician perk now gains 20% more XP per rank for using medical items. Okay. Again, a lot of these things would be very good and will be very interesting. I just don't want to read them all. Craftable power doors and bridges unlocked via schematic or tier 4 advanced engineering still needs to clean up attachment points. Yeah, I love this. Craftable power doors and bridges. That is something that I'm really excited for. A basketball hoop. Okay. Yes, Science offers 20% crafting speed. Okay, so we have still the perk changes things. The added perk benefits, very good. I don't know what a garment bag is or a modular closet rod, but it sounds exciting. Let's see if there's anything else. Hit sounds and cray sounds, that's what they were talking about above. Coal ore model has been updated or added. Okay, fair enough. Now, there's one thing here now when it comes to farming, which we're going to get to in a second, which I already seen. Animal leap ability. Yeah, I'm very excited for that as well. Can you imagine, like, you're just fighting and then jumps right in your face? It's going to be amazing. Sleeper volume trigger modes, active, passive, and attack. Okay, player breadcrumb system. Okay, so they added that. What about AI? The changes for the AI. I'm gonna have to go through this, and again, if you spot anything, you know, absolutely mention it in the chat or mention it in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. Oh, vehicle part schematics items added them to loot. Okay, very good. Duct tape and leather to most tool recipes to keep them... What? Duct tape and leather, well, added to most tool recipes to keep them from being mass produced for big profits at traders. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I like that. Fireman's Almanac modification unlocks an axe mod that does 25% more block damage but less entity damage. That's nice, because I used the axe so many times to fight zombies. It's insane because it was just so awesome. Okay, we have new coffee, coyote prefabs, mountain lion. All firearms can be scrapped into specific gun pads, such as AK-47 pads, pistol pads. That is nice. Okay, fuel tank mods for motor tools, new descriptions for deep cuts and run and gun. Debris, claw, that's all generic stuff here. Put in simple integration. Okay, this is all techie stuff. Command tools, the new music, the new dynamic music. Orange sunrise in the pine forest. Okay, 10% chance to harvest military fiber from barrack chairs. Nice. Oh, I love that. So we have another way of getting actual military fibers now. That is really, really good. So now under changed, I think we have some interesting points here. 8K maps can have up to 10 total traders now. Okay, very good. So 8K maps are actually a thing now, because I was told before that they were really badly performant. 4x4 has now a much larger inventory. I like that. That's good. Duke's casino tokens can be scrapped for brass. That is a change that a lot of people are very excited for, I think. So remove black dusters from the game since you can dye them black now. So okay, that makes sense. Absolutely. So world generation now clears data before starting to load the game. Brand new infection system. Yeah, we read about that before. Have a bread roll show its covering area just like the land claim when it's placed down. Oh, that is nice. I like that. Crucible costs much more now, and Crucible now under rare tool group and secret stash. Oh, okay. Slow metabolism, clamp vitamins. Again, pause it for yourself if you want to go or get the link and read it for yourself as well. The encumbrance buff was reworked. We already know that. Steel AP crossbow bolts are unlocked by rangers. Increase AI per ally block damage boost to 20%. Gyrocopter is faster and gets better mileage. Nice. This is one that a lot of people will be excited for as well, because at this point I really didn't find any point crafting it. So this is really nice. Increased all gas harvest and crafting times 10. Increased fuel usage times 10. So the chainsaws and augers were not gas hogs. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now, one of the things that I saw here a second ago, which we're going to get to, let me see if I can find it. Reduced bear, boar, canine, and vulture hit check delays. What about the food, actually? Like, I wonder if they changed the meat that you get, because having to cook with 5 meat instead of 1 just made no sense. I don't know why they just didn't decrease the loot of the meat and then the cooking to 1 meat. Vehicles can collide with items. Vultures no longer spawn in the snow biome. Slightly increased odds for bears and dire wolves to spawn in snow. At least you can actually see them from miles away. Okay, we already covered encumbrance, shotgun shells, block replace keeps density, replace block. Okay, that's all techie stuff. Techie stuff. Anything I don't understand, I just call out as techie stuff. Farming rebalanced. Here we go. Canned food is no. Allows increased harvest of wild plants. Schematics allow crafting of seeds without a perk. Reduce birds' nests by 50%. You're touching the bird's nest. There's no touches on the bird's nest. Now I have to go and make a mod that increases bird's nest by 50%. Tallow is no longer used in the game. Oh, wow. The wrench no longer repairs. It only harvests and has a power attack. It gains no benefit from minor 69er. Okay, fair enough. There's an interesting change. Thrown dynamite does more damage. Okay, that's good. Added forge crafting to advanced engineering because there's some perk changes. And where is the farming change that we found a second ago? Well, I can look for it. I know what it was called, but dropped zombie loot bag, stay in the game. Hang on a second. Oh, whoa, whoa. Dropped zombie loot bag, stay in game 1200 seconds instead of 300, or around 7.5 hours instead of under 2 with default game time. Adjusted mass of 2-wheeled vehicles. Okay. Drop on death. Drop on quit. Radius entity. Neil Stone. Did I not mention the building system, that you have a radial menu now for the building? Or are they not going to put that in? Okay, let me actually go through this. So we have the hoe, which was removed. So let's see. Removed hoes from the game. They might return in the future. Alpha as a landscaping tool. Farming no longer requires them. Simply place a farm plot and plant a seed. Okay. That's interesting. I like that. And what do we have? Zombie AI. Zombie AI pathing issues when breaking blocks to get to player. That means nothing. It's underchanged, but it could mean anything. But anyway, it looks really good. The zombie AI pathing looks a lot better now. We saw it in Mad Mode's videos. They looked really, really good. Don't take out the hose. XP gain shown when level up is reached is limited to amount required to level up. Okay. So that was under fixed, is it? or changed? Under fixed, yes, nice, that was really good. A lot of fixes here as well under fixed, so let me just have a look. Yeah, one of the things, I thought they had a radial menu now. No, huh. I thought they had the building menu. Interesting. Yeah, that is very interesting. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this. We're gonna leave this here. You can, again, go to the link directly, read everything at your own pace. I just really wanted to go over the changes. And the reason I went over them on stream, which I'm gonna post on YouTube as well, is because it made me read them. Because usually what happens is I skim through them and go, okay, yeah. And that's the known issues as well for people who use Linux, probably very interesting. And Radeon cards may generate comb-like areas in RWG worlds. Okay, whatever that means. You guys with Radeon cards, that means something to you. All right, from the video side, on the YouTube side, this is it. I hope you guys really had a good time with the video and liked all the changes. We're from the stream, we're gonna continue a little bit, but on the video side, yeah, that's it. If you, again, the link is in the description, read it all at your own pace. I hope you enjoyed going over the changes, and let me know in the comments below which one changes you're looking forward to, which you don't looking forward to, which you hate, or which ones sound interesting. And I'm looking forward most to the pathing changes, and everything I read so far I'm really excited for. So I'm excited for the whole thing. So we're gonna be streaming it on Friday as soon as we get access to it. I have to work on Friday. I don't know when I get access to it. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning for me, but we're just gonna start a late stream then. So whichever time it will be, we're gonna stream. Anyway, I hope you had a good time. If you did, remember to kick that like button in the balls, and I hope I see you guys in another video. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, as always, viel Spaß and happy gaming.